Gary, so we know that a regular problem for leaders is when a top performing sales rep wants to become a manager, but you've done the testing and this person will be a horrible manager. Now, if you don't promote them, then you risk losing them because they're going to go somewhere else and somebody else might offer them what they're looking for. The goal here is to be able to have an honest conversation with this person and try to hold on to them without putting them in that management role. Is that possible? Is there a way to navigate this situation without risking losing this person?
Yeah, I think the first thing is you have to make a plan with the sales leader to make up for the lost productivity or lost revenue that he's going to make, right, as becoming a sales leader. I mean, we don't want them to take a step down. And it's kind of like in choosing sales leaders, I want to add this one point. I think the group would agree. It's like, you would think the greatest trainer, an artist, would be Picasso. But when people asked him, how do you paint? He just said, you just paint. He couldn't break it down by the colors. You need to put red, blue, and green in certain combinations. And I think the reality is when we ask a really productive salesperson to become a sales leader, we have to give them the skill sets and resources to be able to paint, by the numbers. And because, they're really motivated, but they've never really broken down what awesomeness looks like. And so when we provide leaders this ability to reproduce by the numbers and some process of coaching, because we have a coaching process of selling, but we need to institute a process of coaching. And when we help leaders understand that process, even the most successful salespeople can be really great producers.
If you put them through the process and realize this person will be horrible though, let's just say that they aren't empathetic. They don't have that natural empathy for reps. And so you see this becoming a problem. Is there a way to keep this person excited about being a single producer, even though they're dying to go into management? Or is that kind of a lost battle? At this stage, you have to think that maybe this person is going to leave us if we don't give them this role. Let's go and find somebody else in the market.
Well, everyone wants to get better, right? I think that comes down to having the ability to coach those types of people. We always like to say, have conversations on how good can you get, right? If you want to keep them, I've never met a top performer that didn't want to get better. So what we like to do is sit down with them and say, hey, you've climbed Mount Everest. What's the next mountain you want to climb and how to get better? So we really believe that you really have these how good can you get conversations and show them ways to improve. Because a lot of sales leaders stay away from the top performers. We're a real advocate of really sitting down with them and getting more alignment on how good can you get. And these conversations really produce outstanding.
I love that. Very good. I love that.
I could add something there too. I mean, there's always a reason that's important to that individual contributor in terms of why they want to be in a management position. And typically, they can actually be more influential with respect to that reason as an individual contributor than as a manager. Most ICs don't understand that the most influential people on the sales floor are not the managers or the directors or the VPs. It's their peers. It's the person who's sitting across from them in their seat. And if you can get that individual contributor who wants to be a manager to understand that and understand that they can be fulfilled in the same way where they are now as they think they need to be as a manager, or as they think they will only be if they become a manager, then they'll be really excited about continuing to perform in the seat that they are now, and they'll have a much more positive impact on all of the people who sit around them.
I really like that. There's this framework that we've looked at, and it basically, it lays out a person in the different stages of their role. And the last stage is high confidence and a high skill set in the job. But what that leads to is boredom. Candidates get bored, and that's a very high risk stage for turnover. And basically somebody is looking to get challenged. And I love what you said, because they might just be thinking that the next challenge is management, but there might be another challenge out there that could invigorate them just as much. I love that.